An opportunity is emerging for the shorter time frame within this asset. If you're a breakout trader, this may be your play, and it is close to pulling off a nice move to the upside. Some of the ARCa Bulls team already got long this asset, and it looks like the next step is up. Welcome back to the channel on this Thursday. This is ARCa, and let's dive into ticker symbol BJDX. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. It is actually 11:57 p.m. Where I'm at, and it's actually very close to the next day, right? So we're going to try to get this to squeeze in here. So we're looking at BJDX, ticker that someone brought up in the live stream today, and I apologize for not remembering who brought it up, but thank you so much, and I will make sure to throw you a shout out the next time around for sure. But yes, this was an incredible play that somebody pulled in, and we were able to get long the asset for the initial 17% gain, but we actually retraced back to the area of where this initially started its run. So if I'm not mistaken, that is right. So yes, let's go ahead and take a look at this 3-day time frame, descending broadening wedge here. Very typical formation, right? That has been actually traded for over and over and over during this bear market cycle. And what I'm looking at here is that we are completing the golden rule of 3, right? So we have test number 1, test number 2, test number 3 with a massive capitulation, and this is actually that test number 4 starting to validate, right? So test number 4 is particular because it is a true breakout test. If we do fail that test number 4, it's okay. We still have test number 5 to validate and continue on to the upside. So don't mind these targets just yet, the ones on the white. I am going to go ahead and explain those to you as we move on. Okay, so naturally, the take profit for this formation. Well, I'm not saying that we're going there tomorrow. In fact, I'm just telling you what the take profit is based on the traditional trading book rules, right? So the take profit for this formation is usually located, or it is located at the genesis of the formation, which is at about $20.40, which is confluent to the 2-spot 618 at 1874. So naturally, we're going to go ahead and just like always, right? We're going to build that that range. So $20.40 is what we want, right? So let me try to get it as close as I can. I guess it's going to have to do right there. No problem at all. All right. So yeah, this would be the take profit target. And this is the 3-day chart. So this can take weeks and weeks, right? So, I mean, who knows? But anyway, let's go ahead and now move on to the chart. We're going to be bouncing back and forth on these. Okay. So we're going to do this. I'm going to try to make this video as short and sweet as possible so we can get some rest here. So this was actually a request, and I actually offered myself to create this analysis. So please notice here that this is the volatility versus momentum back test, and what the criteria is that anytime that volatility has reached the 90th percentile of volatility and it's started a contraction phase paired with an upside pivot on stochastic momentum, I have taken note of every iteration's, if I can get close to this right here, every iteration's upside thrust, the duration, and the amount of times that the volatility versus momentum profile got the upside correct versus incorrect. So throughout the entire trading history of the BJDX asset on the daily time frame, this is what the back test looks like, and those are all of the iterations, all of my notes, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at the data set that was that came out for the statistics, and this is what it's looking like. Okay, so out of a total 7 iterations, 6 were guessed correctly to the upside, giving us an average upside accuracy of 81.71%, with an average upside thrust, aka a mean, of 31.6425% over the span of about 13 days from the firing of the signal. All right, so I also calculated the standard deviation calculations here. So the 68% of the results in a bell curve, that is exactly 16.677%. And, what I mean is that this is the exact number that it came out of. It's not saying that it's going to go exactly to that price, although we probably already have. But yeah, so now calculating the upper bound and lower bound of the first standard deviation, this being the upper bound and this being the lower bound, you are looking at an upper bound of the first standard deviation of 48.3197%. And you know what? I hated that I didn't actually have that there. Sorry, this is my OCD just killing me right now, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and add that percentage sign there. Okay, and now the lower bound of the first standard deviation is leading to a 14.96% move to the upside, 97 averaged, right? So I have noted every one of those targets here. The firing of the signal started within this red candle yesterday. Okay, so I'm speaking of yesterday as in you know, it just right now it just turned Friday, right? So I mean Wednesday, right? So it's literally 2 minutes into Friday right now. So Wednesday, the signal fired off at $5.20 when we got that upside pivot of stochastics and when we started the contraction phase of volatility. Okay, so you can see here that we, at that opening of the signal, we got that top side of this candle here. You can see it on the high from the OHLC for open, high, low, close. You can see that high of 595. Now, the 14.97% move to the upside, which is your lower bound of the first standard deviation, is calculating a move from the firing of the signal of $5.98. Curious, right? We actually already knocked down the standard deviation. I'm sorry, the lower bound of the first standard deviation first. This was it right here. The now the next move, which is the 16.67, which is 68% of the results of the bell curve, that's indicating a potential target of around $6.07, of which I can honestly see realizing fairly soon. Okay, and now looking at or observing at the 31.64% move to the upside, which is your average upside thrust or your mean. That is leading to a target of about $6.85, and your upper bound of the first standard deviation is leading to $7.71. All of these targets have something in common, and they all rhyme with each other, and I will show you how, right? I just wanted to go over the statistics here and show you that the probabilities are leading towards an upside, which has an 81.71% upside accuracy. Know for a fact that these are very little iterations, okay? I personally like to see at least 50, maybe 30, but at least 50, right? But statistically speaking, a true habit would be built at around what, 140 iterations? Very far from that, right? But still, we have the setup suggesting a continuation to the upside. We have the contraction phase on volatility, and we can check one more thing to give this further validity, and that would be the let's see, the directional movement index, right? The DMI. Here it is. And let's see. All right, perfect. So the ADX is sitting, perfect, just at 25%. When you have the ADX sitting at 25% minimum, that is suggesting that it is a strong trending market to whomever is leading the upside in this, or the downside, right? To whomever is leading the price action, bears or bulls. So in this case, you can see DMI plus leading the upside, and that means that we have the strength towards the bulls. This is absolutely giving validity to the volatility versus momentum profile. Okay, so this is very strong, and that tells me that this is highly likely going to continue on to the upside from this point. Of course, we can observe the RSI in the immediate short-term time frame to identify any potential downsides, but we'll go ahead and do that in just a bit. All right, so next chart here is actually going to be a combination of the ARQ indicators, right? Please go ahead and refer to the either the end of the video or the beginning of the video, or you can subscribe to the indicator subscriptions, right? ARQ indicators at gmail.com. These are the algos that we just released. And Armor in specific is actually the secret sauce with the strategy, right? Giving us the long signals. For example, here we got a huge long signal, and this is the short signal, which took profit. Or if you didn't get that long signal, this is the short signal for a downside move. And it looks like if you would have taken this short move from the ARQ Armor indicator, you would have made, at the covering of this opening candle right over here where we've got that long signal, a 52.98% move to the downside over the span of about a couple days, or a few days actually, maybe even a week. This is the 8-hour chart. So yeah, very nice indicator, and it definitely has some I have to give it credit, man. A lot of the subscribers explained to me how much they use the Armor indicator with absolute success. So what I've noted here are the targets of the statistical backtest, right, against the mean band of the Gaussian channel and against the top side of the Gaussian channel, right? So it looks like there is there is confluence there. Okay, so let's go ahead and now take a look at one more ARQ indicator as we want to determine where the strength is presently sitting. So we're going to use DBSI for that right now. In case you don't remember, this is actually, a lot of people were talking about this image, right? So this is actually the DBSI promo image, and this indicator, what it does is it actually takes into account the candles that have closed beneath the EMA 13, and also the candles that have closed upside of the EMA 13, represented by this white line. And upon doing that, it actually gives you a metric, an average strength value located right up here. And you can see that on the 8-hour time frame, 76% bulls are leading the 24% bears. So we can definitely see that we are leading towards an upside, and we are absolutely looking good. One more thing to notice here is that we did get a buy signal, right? It does have buy and sell signals right down here, and you can see that it has not printed a sell signal just yet. So if we were to follow, if we were to have been following the strategy from DBSI, then at the close of this red candle here, we would have already gotten long. At one point today, we would have been up already 88.30%. Actually 2 days ago, right? So yeah, I mean, that is a massive upside. And if we still holding long, we're up still 47.32% to the upside. What I like right now is that we're getting these X's. Usually when you get these X's after a buy signal, you're looking at consolidation before a run to the upside. That is literally what the PDF describes. Right, team? So yeah, we're looking good here in psychological targets. We're looking at good news here from the statistics. Geometrics are all in line with the statistics and the psychological targets. And now let's go ahead and finalize this with the RSI 3-day time frame divergence chart here. What I mean by divergence is actually the opposition of price action versus momentum, and in this case, momentum represented by the indicator RSI. This is my personal one, just so that I can show you some colors, right? Know something really fast here, that the upper half of the RSI is the bullish control zone, lower half is the bearish control zone. You have the strength values up here and the strength values down here, meaning bear strength and bull strength percentile, and you're looking at bull weakness and bear weakness percentile. Okay, so just in case you need to know what I reference to, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, every single junction that you're looking at here, 2% up or down, is a gravitational zone. Okay, so just in case you need to know. All right, so 3-day time frame, we are observing here 1, 2, 3, 4 drives of let's see, regular bullish divergence. Okay, so that happens when price action is making a series of lower lows and your momentum indicator is making a series of higher lows. Okay, so this is absolutely validated, and it is still suggesting a continuation to the upside. Although I have to admit just a little bit here that, yeah, well, I mean, this is the RSI signal represented by the little baby blue line is currently sitting at about 43.58%. Remember that from every junction is just 2% up in order for us to be in the danger zone, right? So in this case, 42%, as soon as we enter that area there could be a potential drop here. But so far, not suggesting that whatsoever. In fact, the moving average is suggesting a little bit of a downside, but this looks corrective, and it looks like it's about to start correcting to a consolidation phase, which means that we need the earlier time frames, the very short-term time frames, to start showing their true colors here. And by that, it's just, I'm just saying that they need to push to the upside harder so that they can start influencing the larger term time frames, because the shorter time frames, as they move up aggressively, they will start cascading into the next time frame. So 30 minutes into the hourly and bi-hourly, you know, the hourly and bi-hourly into the 4 and 6 hour, the 6 hour into the 8 and 12, the 8 and 12 into the daily and bi-daily, and then so on to your 3 and 5 day. Okay, so in this case, please notice that the 30-minute immediate short-term time frame RSI is right at the 50% mark, upside of the SMA 14. A little bit of consolidation here for the immediate short term, but I suspect this to be correcting to the upside fairly soon. So if 5-minute time frame is actually outside of the gravitational zone with no danger, slight upside pivot on that SMA 14. So yeah, we may start getting some upside here a little slowly, but surely, right? So now the bi-hourly time frame is also, well, the RSI signal is presently sitting in the gravitational zone of the bull weakness percentile, upside pivot, very likely. Potential resistance coming up in the short term here at 63.47%, which would honestly mean that we would actually face another resistance grab right up here at $5.32 or just under that, right? And it'll pull back and start validating the $4.99 or $5 psychological target as a support before continuing on to the upside. Right, so now the next time frame is actually the 4-hour time frame. We actually have that RSI signal right at the gravitational zone of the bull strength percentile, likely for this to find some downside, but also likely for it to find support from the SMA 14 as it inclines. Okay, this is also giving some validity to the downside that we just talked about, coming back down to validate that $5 psychological support. Okay, now 8-hour time frame, yeah, still showing a little bit of consolidation here, slight downside pivot, but at moving averages with an upside pivot. So yeah, consolidation. Same situation here on the 12-hour, same situation here on the daily, right? In fact, the daily is actually sitting really close to the gravitational zone here of the bear weakness percentile, which would essentially push up as soon as we start getting those heavier thrusts to the upside from the shorter term time frames, right? So now we'll go ahead and reference the 3-day and the 5-day RSI a little bit later, but it looks like the at least to the credit of the 5-day, please notice here that it's already creating a bullish crossover upside of the SMA 14, and we're coming back down to validate that SMA 14 as a support. Okay, I must say that we are dangerously close to we're still within the gravitational zone of the bear weakness percentile, which could send us down, but this is very difficult to bring down since it is a larger time frame. Okay, team, now you know the play, you know what's happening here. Let's go ahead and stream this in the morning. I'm going to be up at about streaming at about 6:45 a.m. Pacific time. So go ahead and come by and say hello, team. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well, a very, very good rest of your night, and I will catch you at the bell. I mean, literally at the bell. Mañana. Adios.